Transportation was hard in the beginning, even though that I had my family with me. Of course, they couldn't take me everywhere. So I had to go out and look for a job. So I would ride the bus. And then during that time, I decided to go ahead and go to school. So I would have to take the bus an hour earlier because the bus that I took was always late. And so if I got to the next bus stop late, then I missed my bus. So I had to be there an hour ahead so that way I could make it to work on time.
At first, when I was at the halfway house, I rode a bicycle to and from work. I mean, whatever it took, and it was like a 5-mile ride there and a ride back, but I was willing to do whatever it took. But it's there. We have, thankfully I'm in a good city where you have that option. You have an option to take the bus, or they have like Uber drivers or taxis or whatever you need.
I did do a lot of walking. Because I did have to take a class, and the class place was not far from my mother's home. So because I had experience learning how to walk very well in prison, from chow to visits to commissary, it humbled me to realize that walking for something that I really needed or that I wanted was not something that I could not accomplish. So to have to start over without having a vehicle coming home was not that difficult, but it did have its challenges on extremely hot days. But because I had a strong support system, I did have some help with transportation. And once I got married, I kind of got a husband, a house, a car, and all that too. So, when God does it, He knows how to supersize combo that deal.
And it was hard at first going across there, trying to get there, trying to go to a job, trying to get to the store, trying to go do anything, and it was hard because sometimes I had to wait on people so they decided to say, yeah, I'll take you. Do you got some gas money? And know that you might not even have the money, but they still saying, I'm not going nowhere until I got some gas money. But God was in my favor. Mr. Wesley, I started cleaning up for him. That was my second job. And Mr. Wesley would say, hey, take my van. And I'll say, you sure? Yeah, take my van. And then I would bring the van back. What you bring the van back for? Go home. So Mr. Wesley, for a whole 2 years, Mr. Wesley, I kept his van.
Right now, living with my mother, I have no transportation to get to a job in order for me to work. And I can't get any money for myself. So that makes me have to depend on support. So it's a struggle. It's not coming easy, but I, take one day at a time. I'm waiting patiently. I'm waiting for the Lord to tell me something. Each day, it's amazing because whether I don't have money, it works out that somebody comes and just gives me a hand, here, this is for you, and this is for you to keep going, because they see that I'm still focused on the Lord, that they're helping me to get to where I need to be. So, I gotta go day by day and figure out what I'm gonna do next.
When I first got out, I depended on my family, and mainly my mother-in-law was the one that would drive me everywhere. And she didn't mind it because she knew I needed that at first, but at the same time, they pushed for me to learn how to drive again, because after 18 years, I had to learn everything all over again. But I'm a fast learner, so I picked it up. Just not in her car because she drives the Standard. No. So I learned in my grandmother's car. But that was one of the first things I did when I got home was they took me in a parking lot and, taught me how to drive, and they worked with me on that. I got the book and a DVD, and we went through all of that, and I got my driver's license in June after I got home in February. So one morning I woke up to get ready for work, and my grandmother had called the car dealership and took me up there, and I didn't have credit because of course I'd been locked up 18 years. So she had to co-sign for me, but I make all the payments. I make all the car payments every month. I make the insurance payments. I do that with my job and my money. She just helped co-sign for me, but I couldn't have done it without her.
My driver's license was suspended. When I come home, I was attempting to get my license. It ended up costing me because I wouldn't let my sisters offer to pay for it, my mom. But it meant something for me to say, I did this. I didn't have nobody do it for me. It cost me $1,500 plus the cost to take my driving test and written test. But I did it. It's just persistence.
It took me a year to get my driver's license because I had anxiety from driving. San Antonio had grown so much since the last 5 years that I had been here. And traffic was twice as bad. I mean, probably even more than it was the last time that I was here. So I had a little bit of anxiety, but I pushed through it with God, helping me get through it. And then this past year in March, I was able to purchase a vehicle. So now that's what I travel in.